Super Sleepover!
Hey guys, it is another episode of Super Sleepover. I'm Matt, and I'm here with
John.
So, I don't know how to say it like that. We are
Spooky John.
Spooky John. We are playing Darkstalkers 3. It's now going into its own mode. It's its own preview mode, demo mode. Either way, we're playing Darkstalkers 3. John loves this game. I'm going to get us out of this. And you haven't played it in a while, though, which is actually to my advantage because I only played this to get footage for another video that we did. So you haven't played this in a while, but then you also, while I was setting up, you had some time to play again. So I'm a little nervous.
Oh no, don't worry. Like I said, I can't even really remember the way the controls were set, and I had it set up a certain way on my long lost memory card.
Oh, thank God.
So I think you've got a fighting chance. But actually, let's do versus mode. If we're not already, is this versus or is this arcade?
It's not versus. I'm an idiot. Okay, so I had hit into the wrong mode as we were talking about this. So I'm going to choose Morgan. I'm going to choose normal, I guess.
I don't even remember which is auto. I think is just with like the super combos or something.
All right. Ooh, Talbane. You were telling me about Talbane. And
yes.
What were you saying about?
He is a.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Where do we put the? Do we just leave him at 4?
Well, that's the handicap level. So we can just leave it at 4 if you want us to be even.
Okay, cool.
That's fine. So he is not a very popular character in Japan, which explains why he's not really in any of the crossover games, as opposed to Morgan and Felicia, who are in a ton of them.
Yeah.
And even Anakaris found his way into one of the crossover games. So John Talbane, not very well liked in Japan for reasons I can't fathom, because he's a kung fu werewolf. Like, really, how can you go far wrong? But in America, they love him. You know, like I said.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of fan art of him and stuff like that. So really cool character concept that just does not get enough love.
So,
right, so you're beating the tar out of me because I can't remember the controls.
I think I'm just pushing buttons. I think I mentioned this before, but if I didn't, we're doing this obviously. Well, if you're watching this live, we are doing this in the month of October. But if you're watching this a little bit later, you might not know that. That's why the lighting is spooky, and we're playing Darkstalkers 3 now. You brought this to my attention, this series, because you are in love with it. Although I think you borrowed the first two at one point, but you don't have them now.
The first two, I have the first one. The second one didn't get a PSX port, and that's what I had at the time. But this one, the second one was really just the first one, Champion Edition, if you will. It was like the first one you could play as the bosses, and then it added a few additional characters and a few new game mechanics. What this Darkstalkers 3 tries to do is kind of roll them all into one, where it's Darkstalkers 3, which I think in Japan is called Vampire Savior, and it sort of combines all of the characters of the first two games. Because what happened was, when 3 came out, they had to make room, and there wasn't room for all of the characters from 1 and all the characters from 2, and all the new characters that were introduced in 3, so they sort of just... They had to pick and choose. A few characters got cut, and then a few months later there was a different version that had the characters that were cut, and then a few other ones were missing instead. So this port was the first time I think that they put them all back together.
So I'm listening to everything you said, John. Your cat lost the ball underneath the entertainment center, and she's trying to not step, but somehow kind of because she's confused, step on my PlayStation 2 and the capture device. She's like, I kind of want to step on this, but like, what is this?
I kind of want to give you like a heart attack if I possibly can. Like,
oh my God.
What would be the most nerve-wracking thing for me to do?
And I believe you kicked butt as this character when we played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the Sega Dreamcast for an episode of Those Guys Play Season 5. Am I correct?
Yes, this is BB Hood, Baby Bonnie Hood. Again, super cool character design. She is what if Little Red Riding Hood was a heartless mercenary.
Which, yeah, it's pretty cool. And also she has a butler.
I forget if that's her. Yeah, I think that's her. Either her butler or like her agent or something.
Also, this game is very interesting in a way that I noticed when I was capturing footage last time. It doesn't reset the health bars.
No.
So like I have the ability to at least beat you once.
Right, because I said it's not, rather than being two rounds where, or however best out of three, best out of 2 or 3 rounds, like Street Fighter. What it is that your health bar, it doesn't replenish. You basically have 2 lives, if you will.
Which I think is interesting because it does help the other person come back at least ever so slightly.
Yeah, it gives you a bit of a chance to make a comeback, and there you go. Anakaris is a character that I never really. He was an MVC too, also.
Right. That's why he's familiar.
He's another one that is kind of interesting to use. Yeah, there's the butler. So, like I said, I think it's her agent or something. I definitely should know. And folks, if you were talking to me how many years ago, I could tell you exactly. But I'm a little rusty.
Again, you haven't picked up this game in a while.
Yeah, especially this version of it.
All right, so John has beaten me twice while talking naturally like it was nothing. But how about this, John? How about one more round? If you win them all. If I win them all. That's fair, right?
This is for all the marbles. That's
for all the marbles.
All right, there you go. Now, because
I was going to play versus Capcom.
Marbles. I was going to play Felicia. Honestly, as much as I adore Felicia for so many obvious reasons, right now, I think I'm going to play Shenko just because. Again, she doesn't get a lot of love. She was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, though, like one of the updated versions. I was excited about that.
Felicia was in Street Fighter?
Felicia was in Felicia was in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 also.
Okay.
She was another one. So there was a fair amount of Darkstalkers representation.
Interestingly enough, so it must have been popular.
Popular enough to warrant, probably not, like I said, and I think it was more that like certain characters are a big hit. Like everybody loves Morgan, everybody loves Felicia, so they're in everything. And so you might get some other. I'm glad that BB Hood got some play time as well.
Yeah. In future games, they got dropped like a freaking rock.
Yeah, like a bad habit. And
but
also
like the first 2, and obviously the third one as well. They were they were popular. Ooh. Although I don't know if Morgan's in the newest one. To be fair,
which the Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah,
she's definitely in 3, and I think that's the last one that there's been to date. As of this,
I'm so fucked.
As of this broadcast, yeah. So Shenko's a little bit hard to. She's a little more nuanced as far as her.
I am none of that.
Her techniques, and I said I'm doing a lot of this from a very rusty memory, but
rusty.
But in keeping with the whole, because they kind of branched out with Darkstalkers 3, but the original concept was all like classic monsters, and then with Shenko, like I said, she is a
Jiangshi.
I believe she's a yes.
You're like, oh my
God, man, that is you know what you know.
This is why I'm here.
You weren't hurting for cool John Cool points, but you just got like enough to last you a while. But yeah, she's a Jiangshi. She's a Chinese vampire.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, a Chinese zombie. Well, both. Kind of.
Arguably, she can absorb your energy, but also she is a reanimated corpse.
Right.
The reason why I know about Jiangshi actually is because of an anime called Shaman King. I don't know if you've heard of it. One of the characters, she was bad, but she ended up turning good. She wielded Jiangshi, and she wielded their version of Bruce Lee. Like they had a famous actor in their universe. He died. And then it was like, oh my god, it was like this whole government conspiracy because she was with the family. And so the idea is like they killed this version of basically Bruce Lee to use as a zombie, kung fu fighter to rule throughout eternity.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. And if you look, just a quick look around, they got, and some of these are from the original games. You have a Death Rocker, an Australian Death Rocker zombie. You have a Sasquatch from Canada. You've got you got a merman. You got the Queen. Yeah, Queen Bee. She's new to this game. There's supposed to be like a swarm of her. The robot. You got Donovan, who's really one of the only. I mean, not that he's the only like nominal good guy. He's a half vampire, half human. So there's also like this realm that they're fighting in. Like you either have to be a monster. Or in BB Hood's case, super powerful. Or in BB Hood's case, just so ruthless that basically the universe thinks you're a monster.
So as you were talking, I discovered Bishamon. Bishamon.
Yes.
I need to play as this man.
That's a samurai. Yeah,
I don't know how I missed him the first time I tried to record footage for this. I focused on Morrigan, Sasquatch, and him so much that I just did not even notice him. I need to.
Yeah, he's and there is a little bit, if you can believe it, a bit of continuity between the games. And in the first game, Bishamon was a samurai that was possessed by his armor.
Okay.
And then in this one, he's already freed himself from the armor, but now the armor's gone into business for itself.
Oh.
And that body that you're seeing is basically a body that it manifested.
Oh, so we gotta. So yeah, I want to be the armor.
And I will be Morrigan's creepy sister, Lilith, who is kind of the Ken to her Ryu. We'll play this stage. This is an interesting stage because
Power of arrogance.
the perspective is very interesting. We are actually fighting on the side of a building.
Okay, I like that.
And that's a cool. Like I said, that's why I just love this game. There's so many nice little weird details.
Yeah.
It's so unique, especially with fighting games, because fighting games are so dime a dozen. So look, we're actually looking down at the street.
I know, no, I can see the clock.
It's trippy as hell, and I really am just so about it.
And the gargoyle, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah, just beautifully detailed.
And he has the spirits following him.
Yeah, the sword.
Oh.
Was it his sword? No, it was the armor that was cursed. I couldn't remember if it was the sword or the armor. The sword, I'm thinking of JoJo.
You literally can see the armor with a mouth, and you're like, "Is it the sword?"
But is it the sword? Is it? I can't put my finger on it. Which of these is possessed? No, the possessed sword was JoJo. That was Anubis, I think it was, Jack. It was.
I actually haven't. I got the footage for part 3 for the episode that we did, but I actually don't. I don't have experience with part 3. I haven't seen it in full yet, so I don't know who you're referencing. I'm assuming it's from part 3.
It's from part 3. Yeah, part 3 is really the only one that I know about.
Ooh. I love it. I get John once, and it's just like, oh no, we cannot.
The center cannot hold. I don't even remember the controls are the default.
Whoa, I'm fast.
Yeah, you can go into a mode.
Oh no, Satan. Oh no, Lilith, actually.
I said I have not even done a single super combo. Yeah, this is like a mode where you almost like Rose's.
Look at how close I was, though.
Yes, no, you fought the good fight. Let's see what her creepy ass win quote is. Yeah, that's pretty. That's weird. I know that weird is part of the description for this game, but.
All right, so John beat me. This is new because normally I don't get beaten on Super Sleepover, and John's never on them. So as far as he knows, that's actually the truth. Now, look, this is actually a really fun game. Again, you suggested this to me last time we did a video about rare PS1 games, and you were like, dude. This isn't technically, well, rare and expensive, I'd rather. And you were like, this technically isn't on the list, but it's good. And I was like, honestly, just let's have you talk about it. And people can tell by watching this, you love this series.
Oh yeah, no, I love me some Darkstalkers.
Yeah, it sucks. I wish you had gotten a PS3 at the time because there was a digital version of this. And I believe not a dev, but someone who was a rep from Capcom in the US was like, if this does well, we might be able to have more out.
Yeah.
Because it was like it wasn't a new game, I believe. It was kind of it was a port. I think it was a port of all 3. I'm unsure. I know the PS2 had a port of all 3.
Well, this has been ported a bunch of times, I said, this is on the PSP also.
But that got expensive, I believe. I don't know if it did.
Of course, I mean, and best believe that I have it, but it was.
You have it on PSP?
I put on PSP, and I did, and true to form, I did get it for cheap because, like I said, just like in true John fashion, I got the PSP late in the game. And it was another, like I said, it was a $20 special.
Oh,
but
John. Anyway, so, either way, John, you won. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on as always. And hopefully we'll have you on in the future playing a different game outside of this very spooky month. But if you like this video, I want to say please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching these videos, helping us be us, and having a grand old time.
And remember... It's now the button mash.
Oh my god. Didn't do the mash. Oh god, we're ending this here. See ya, everybody. You can say goodbye, John.
Goodbye, John. Every time.